Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another Dragon Ball figure news video. And I know what you're probably thinking, hold on, another one so soon? What's going on here, bro? Well, technically the last figure unboxing video was actually for 2 weeks ago, or 2 Sundays ago now, and your boy was slacking a little bit on it. So I figured to get on track, we would get back to our normal schedule of the Dokkan news. I'm sorry. Listen, bro, I got Dokkan on the mind. I got a summon tonight, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back into the swing of things by getting it back on the correct schedule. So with that, let's go ahead and see what we have for figure news. Because we did take a look at it so recently, we will not have as much, unfortunately, but there is still a little bit to look at. Some figure finals, some various stuff like that I think you guys will enjoy. So let's go ahead and get into it. Of course, to start us off here on dbzfigures.com, we have the weekly Dragon Ball news for the 24th of May. These 2 new figures were released, as you can see here. These are obviously the Retsuden Super Saiyan Vegeta and the base form Bardock. These guys, of course, being based on the Super Saiyan God Vegeta and the Super Saiyan Bardock. We will see actual pictures of them that aren't just production images in a little bit. As well, Solid Edgeworks Goku was released. We did take a look at him last week, and unfortunately, he kind of ended up a little bit stinky, which is very disappointing because this line definitely had some promise. But other than that, that was basically it, except for figure, or everything else that wasn't figures, I guess I should say here. As well, he does link the official website, which is pretty cool. I just want to show you this just because like it looks very aesthetically pleasing, and instead of needing the YouTube link to play, now you can literally just take a look at it on this website, which is really cool. Unfortunately, we can't scroll through it now because it's not a YouTube video, but that's alright. Again, we will see some pictures of, oh, we saw those shirts before too. You will see some pictures of these figures in a little bit, but there's a quickie for you. Yeah, not looking too hot, but we'll get some more detailed shots of them in a minute. And that is actually it for Dragon Ball figures this week. Not too much from dbzfigures.com, but of course, linked in the description as always. Thank you guys for always holding it down with the good summaries. Let's hop over to the boy Baggy's Twitter here, starting us off back where we were with the Kid Buu and Jiren. He was just talking about seeing what the November FES release will be. Here's a high quality look at the May Limit Breaker Super Saiyan Goku art. And then we have the, I guess just like muted color version. If you are unfamiliar with the Limit Breaker series, it's basically like these, I guess they're almost like ish a foot tall. And they're, I don't want to say they're vinyl figures because I don't think they are, but they kind of give that old vibe of vinyl figures. But they always have fantastic art on them like this. So it's always cool to see what they bring to the table. Alright, so the Goku and Frieza tag fighters did absolutely terrible in Japan. No fan interest to the point where you could pick up the figures for only a few hundred yen each. So what happens, an entire Kuji slot is spent on these guys, and the orders are pretty low. The Kuji already has 2 other Gokus, 2 Brolys, and a Gogeta. This was so unnecessary. The last VSO we had Buu and Jiren, which was great. This easily could have been a hit in Zamasu, Cell, or another form of Buu, or any of the Universe 6 Saiyans, so we know it can have nice things. Yeah, very unfortunate, actually, in that way, right? Because it's like, since we already have these figures, technically we don't need these. I'm hoping that these do replace these, though, because at least in the setup I have in my room, I use these figures, and Frieza did not fare the best. These definitely look a lot better than what the actual final versions of the figures look like, but it would be nice to get a little bit more varied, yes. Alrighty, so here are some more final pictures from YP, it looks like. This is a little bit disappointing, if I do say so myself. These guys look super cheap. Like, they look like bootlegs, right? What happened to his hand there? Oh my gosh. It looks like his hand melted. Yeah, whenever you see, like, this is a good point. Whenever you see kind of shiny plastic like this, that always gives the illusion of cheap and bootleg. That definitely looks like a bootleg Goku figure. From the, like, black line in the mouth to the way that they painted the eyes on, it just looks super disgustingly cheap. Yeah, what happened to his hand there? Oh my gosh, you can see all like the plastic seam lines from where they cut the hand. Ah! Hello! Alright, so it's super shiny on him. Oh my gosh, what happened to like the lines under his eyes? What is that supposed to be? Did his mustache escape his face? That is so weird. Yeah, unfortunately the face on these did not end up that well. And the other thing that I would like to point out, I think that there's the full standing picture here, yeah. These guys don't actually stand up straight. They're leaning. Which is not great for a figure that is supposed to be like walking forward. And I don't know if you can tell, but on this one, it looks like they're actually leaning it against the Ultimate Soldier's trunk side. So that's also not the best, if I do say so myself. My beloved Rose, also unfortunately, they didn't do a good job with the scythe, whoever set this up. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate to see the way that these guys turned out, because this line had a ton of promise, being like a new, I don't know, like staple collection line for some collectors. Like you could make this, you know, everything from this line would be maybe like a centerpiece in your collection. But I would say heck no with this one. Yeah, very unfortunate that it ended up this way. Here's some more finals. How do you mess up that bag? The Leaning Tower of Goku. Yeah, look at this. So obviously he put these lines in here to kind of show you, like, obviously that the figure is having that big lean, right? Look at him from the side too. That's pretty whack. Yeah, very unfortunate. Look at the difference there. So obviously colors can be a little bit more of a lighting thing, so take that with a grain of salt. You know, also if they color correct the picture. But with the mouth, as you can see, they really went heavy on the black paint. Like I always say, this is a thing that I feel like that Bandai does that makes their figures look more bootleg, and I don't know why they do it, but they do. The hair also looks like smaller. He also looks maybe like thinner for some reason. Let's look at it on the actual website. Also his face is just like more squished, I guess. I don't know. He's also leaning a lot. Holy cow. Look at that man, bro. That's ridiculous. Yeah, very unfortunate to see how this figure turned out. I hope that nobody ended up pre-ordering this figure, because if they did, you are in for a little bit of a rude awakening. To be fair, it's not the worst figure that I've ever seen, but I don't know. I see this face and this screams bootleg to me, even though it is official. So yeah, very unfortunate the way that this guy turned out. He might make a good custom, I guess, if you were into that sort of thing, but yeah, very unfortunate with the final result on that one. Ooh, that's pretty cool. There was a Revival of F Inspired Gi version from the cover of this art. That's pretty cool. Nice. Alright, September BSS GX Materia, Goku and Gohan, will be aiming for around September 10th release date in Asia, it seems. Both will have the usual BSS slim packaging too. Reminder, BSS means prize only for Asia, but a standard re-release for the West. However, because GX Materia Gohan is the exact same production codes for the West, it will have the original packaging size. Interesting. If you're wondering what BSS means, by the way, it's Bam Presto Special Selection. It's a thing that they've been doing recently whenever they re-release a figure. Sometimes they just re-release it and then they don't stay that it's a re-release and they just like push out more. But BSS means that it was like a pretty popular figure, and they're releasing more so people can get their hands on it, which is cool. Alright, update. Ichiban show listings for September One Piece has started in the US. No DB as expected. If there will be an Ichiban show for DB, it will be listed around 3 weeks. So US folks gotta wait a little longer to find out their fate. Very unfortunate on that one, if I do say so myself. I am gonna be pretty scared to see how that ends up, because I really hope that this set ends up coming over here. Hopefully we can get the June Japanese prize figure dates tomorrow. Reminder that the item collection sadly isn't coming to the West. Desperately hoping the MM finals are good after seeing the Solid Edwards. Definitely feeling nervous. Yeah, about Trunks is what he's talking about, the matchmakers. FES Goku was a rare case of the final being better than the prototype, so I guess it's just luck how figure will turn out. Yeah, he's talking about the base form FES Goku, by the way. I believe, anyway. Nothing too crazy this month in Versus 17 and Wafer Candy 05 scans via DBS Hype. Yeah, so we saw these already. Obviously, these guys have been put in V-Jump a couple of times now. And then, of course, we also have the Wafer Stickers figures, which we've also seen these a couple times. But they still look pretty solid, if I do say so myself. Definitely want to pick up that Shinra. Looks pretty cool. Alrighty, moving on up. This image is probably the funniest. Yeah, I agree. It's very goofy. Alright, high quality image of the DBS Evolve triple pack featuring a clean front and incredible Blueku art. That is really cool. I've actually wanted to do a review on these for a while now, to be honest, because each of these figures individually is only like 10 bucks. And I don't think they're necessarily the worst articulated figures. Whoever packaged them in here literally made them look very unappealing, but in person they look a lot better. I do really like the art on this, yeah. The single Broly figure is available for less than a $5 on Amazon UK, more than 50% off the RRP. Yeah, another Broly figure dropped in price. Yeah, but 10 bucks definitely isn't too bad. I'm probably assuming that this is going to be like 30 bucks, considering that it's, you know, all three of them in there. But I'm sure that if you really wanted the figure, excuse me, you could probably get them for cheaper. Like Baggy was saying, that it's 50% off on Amazon. You could probably get them for cheaper other places. Here's the Solid Edgeworks Super Saiyan Goku finals. Only knows how this release was messed up this bad. Beyond the slanting Super Saiyan under the eyes. What were they thinking? Yeah. And it is such a shame, like I said, again, because this could have been a really solid upcoming line if they had, like, all of the characters walking forward and they all looked like the original production images, right? Because here's the thing. With these figures, right, with Goku figures specifically in the modern day, right, we talk about a lot on this series that, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, it's just another Goku figure. But it's like, even though it is, for either people who are like just starting collecting, that this might be a good pickup for them if they don't have this particular form and like this size or whatever it may be. Oh my gosh, that's really bad. That slant is really bad. Holy cow. What do you call it? Also, hold up, I just realized, always gotta give my man the AdSense. I didn't even think about that. Anyhow, yeah, so it's like, I still want these figures to be good, despite it being another more generic Goku figure. Like, that doesn't mean by any means that I want the figure to look bad. So, it's always still a shame to me when these figures end up really stinky. Especially, like, look at the difference here, right? Like, the face, the hair, the detail even. Just very unfortunate how this ended up turning out, because this could have been a really cool line. Alrighty, oh boy. So we're actually going to click on this on the sidebar because I saw it chilling here with the Ritsuda and Bardock. Ritsuda and Vegeta looks terrible. They copy the orders are incredibly low, but this awful piece of garbage is likely going to be reused for a third time in November. Yikes. Yeah, the sculpting just isn't good, if I do say so myself. Like, his head is way too big. He almost looks like they're trying to chibi-fy him. November is confirmed to be the last of the garbage line, which was a waste except for Jiren. Let's not talk about this, Bardock. Scheduled a figure sculpted of actual trash and would have been, would be better to look at the, yeah. So, like, look at this, bro. Let's take a look at on omachahedchala.com. Yikes. So, I'm sure you guys remember the absolute disaster of the Super Saiyan version of this guy. Funny enough, the base form one actually fared a little bit better at the end of the day. It still looks terrible, don't get me wrong, but I think that it still looks better than the Super Saiyan one. Look at his hair, it just looks so weird from this angle. Like, I kind of understand what they're going for. Ooh, look at that gapping. Either the figure sits like that on the shelf, or somebody didn't put that together properly. Yeah, that is really bad. Yeah, I would not recommend getting this figure if you can't tell. It looks really, really bad, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Here's the Super Saiyan one for comparison. I'm glad that's there, because I wasn't going to be able to find an image really quickly. Look at how, like, spread apart his eyes are. Yeah, that is pretty bad if I do say so myself. I still think that the base form one like won out at the end of the day in terms of how they look, but neither look good. I'm just saying that the base form one looks better. Yeah, very, very stinky if I do say so myself. Do we have the boy Super Saiyan Vegeta on the side here? We do not, unfortunately. Either way, though, yeah, definitely not too happy with Retsuden. I don't think literally anybody in the figure collecting community was, if I'm being honest with you. We also have the Super Saiyan God one right here as well. The scale is awful. They have the goal, the charge. Yeah. So, with this, right, keep in mind, this Vegeta, which this picture, I will admit, doesn't really make him look that flattering, but I still think that this is a pretty solid Super Saiyan God Vegeta figure. But, yeah, the size, these guys are the same price, and I think besides the face looking a tiny bit goofy on the BOS one on the left, the detailing, I think, is a clear winner on the one on the left compared to the one on the right. Along with the shading and the colors and all that stuff. Yeah, not worth it, if I do say so myself. I really hope nobody bought that. June, Candy Wafer Figures, Japanese release date, now triple confirmed via V-Jump and KAMEHAMEHA. It's sort of crazy how 4 years, I didn't know when things were released, and now release dates before, and now we know release dates before they've been officially revealed. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Alrighty, old Super Saiyan Goku Blade. Oh, that's cool. Okay, oh yeah, so this guy got back in stock on Blow It Outta Here. I believe he got sold out now, but I also did a review on this guy actually a couple days ago. Definitely go check it out at the end of this video on the Super Saiyan one. It's a decent figure. Alright, the June High Grade 09 releasing around the 4th week of Japan. This is such a weird set. Like, for one, Broly's figure is terrible in terms of the pose. Paragus is also actually, though, probably going to be really popular because I know Z Paragus is a huge meme over in Japan. So I'm sure that he will be kind of hard to come by. I would actually like to get him just for the sake of collection. I do like the Super Saiyan Goku, though. I don't ever remember when his gi was like that in particular, though. I don't remember the orange being there. It almost looks like Namek Goku, but like they slapped the orange on top. Kind of weird. Vegeta's pose is also pretty goofy. Yeah, these poses are a little bit weird. Very interesting, though. Alright, moving on up here, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, thank you, my boy. Yeah, I know he's not a big fan of Bardock, so I appreciate you still posting pictures about it, Baggy. So here's the difference between the head sculpts. That makes it look super unflattering because the hair is covering the eyeball. I love this figure. I think it's fantastic. The Super Saiyan head. Oh, okay, so that's the base form head. That looks really good. That looks really good. Obviously, the appeal of this one is that it comes with the Super Saiyan head. Looks good. I will probably get this figure if I can get it for a decent price, just because I'm a huge fan of Bardock. And I have the original Grandista Bardock, and I absolutely love it. And I would love a Super Saiyan version of it, because unfortunately, Bardock figures tend to get shafted in terms of quality. They're always seeming to get shafted in terms of quality. So this is like one Bardock figure that I can solidly say is really, really good. So I am probably going to get this guy, but I am glad that he ended up turning out very well. As this is a Grandista Nero figure, if you're curious what the original one was, the original one, he's holding his bandana in his hand. He's clutching it it would be the scene right after Tora bites the dust. There is also the unboxing here. If you are interested, again, I'll leave Baggy's Twitter link in the description so you can take a look at this. I'm not going to go through the video because obviously, you know, I don't want to take away from that guy's video and also copyright. But nonetheless, though, I'm glad that the figure turned out pretty good at the end of the day. Again, if I can get this guy for a decent price, I will probably do a review on him. Alright, June, Japanese release dates for prize figures starting to roll out. He's almost upon us, yes. And we'll see some more angles of this guy, actually, in a little bit here. A bit of the official description from the Solid Azure line has me worried, implying the line is going to be all Goku. What does this say? It will be a series that will be three-dimensionalized with different versions of basic Son Goku, and the first is Super Saiyan Son Goku, plan to continue expanding in the future. Oh! Alright, well, hopefully they give us some solid representations of some underrepresented forms if it is going to be Goku. That's crazy. How many lines have we had based around Goku? I know it's Goku, but, like, they've been pushing him so much that they should know that he doesn't sell as well nowadays. And FES exists, which I know has things that are related to Goku, not just Goku, but still. Terrible Rasoon line out now for Asia, but Solid Edgeworks despite both releasing in Japan on Thursday. Oh, but not Solid Edgeworks. Interesting. Maybe a sign. Is it a sign the overseas version of Solid Edgeworks will be fixed? I doubt it. Let's hope so. By the way, that is an interesting picture about, or an interesting question about this rock. It's pretty much just like a decoration, I believe, just to kind of make this setup look a little bit more interesting. Oh, that's a cute Nezuko. Alright, hopefully September is the start of them slowly releasing. There are more interesting things for the market than Dragon Ball than the stuff we usually get. Yeah, hopefully that is what that means, because this is going to be a good release, hopefully. Dragon Ball Adverge Motion 5 high quality production images. I will say, I've been kind of disappointed by Dragon Ball Adverge Motion specifically, because the line had some super dynamic stuff in the beginning of its run, and now it's like, that Kefla you cannot tell me is Dragon Ball Adverge Motion. Like the rest of these, maybe you can tell me work, because they're like, they would be moving in these scenes. But like Kefla is literally charging up standing in place. Like, come on. And what stinks too is that I still want it because we don't have any Kefla figures. Like, come on, man. I don't do this to me, bro. Alright, since some folks are interested in this one, no finalized Japanese release dates for the Dragon Ball prize figures for June. However, the LC Gotenks was due first week of June next week, so we'll get to see his finals next week. And we actually will get to see these in this video. Yes. So this was a good thing. I wanted to talk about this because this was something that was going around a little bit. Since I've been asked this several times, I guess I'll make a post. Basically, someone claiming to know someone told them that the Super Master Stars piece 2D Vegeta will release, and now this is spread like wildfire. Until I make a post saying just treat it as some wishful thinking for now. This is, by the way, started because we just had the re-release of the Super Master Stars piece 2D Super Saiyan Goku, the original one. I'm personally very skeptical about this because we had the Grandista 2D Vegeta re-release after the Super Master Stars Peak Goku. If they planned on the Super Master Stars Peak Vegeta, why not do it then? Secondly, we're in the middle of the midst of the Bam Presto World Figure Coliseum Super Master Stars piece releasing. The Super Master Star piece Goku released in a month where there wasn't anything planned. Yep. So, I believe later on we do get to see that this is actually just a rumor, but... Got reminded of the 2017 S Cultures Piccolo again. If you thought Solid Edgeworks was bad, write down. This was a downright disaster. Look how good the original production is. And they changed the green and some boogie green color and actually looked like a bootleg. That looks fantastic. Yeah, that definitely looks really good. And oh, yikes. It literally looks like somebody tried to paint the teeth. Yeah, that looks like a bootleg. That looks like something you would see at like a shop or something like that. This one looks so good. That's really unfortunate that it turned out that way. Alright, yeah, hoping it's going to be Ultimate Gohan for Grandista. Oh yeah, this was some unfortunate news. It was supposed to be prize fair tomorrow before it got canceled. We would have got October to December prize figures revealed, and now we have to continue waiting for monthly production images to drop. Yeah, very unfortunate. F in the chat, my boy. Alright, Japanese release dates for these figures finally confirmed. Gotenks, June 4th. Trunks, June 15th. 18, June 24th. Why are they releasing those separate times? I don't understand. Clear Eyes Goku the 24th, and the item collection is the 24th as well. I want to try and get the item collection if I can, because that's some pretty cool stuff. Alright, for June acrylic lights, they changed it from Super Saiyan Goku to blue. Really? Huh. It's not like a completely different thing, they just changed it? That's really weird. Interesting. Yeah, so the idea is that it lights up from the bottom and then it lights up the acrylic base. The Shinron one is pretty cool, but the bases look kind of cheap, unfortunately. Yeah, this was also something interesting. So I've seen a lot of people talking about this figure, and this figure looks amazing, right? But you should notice some similarities to it. Because if you see here, normally I don't talk about resins or unofficial figures, unless funny bootlegs, but I noticed some resins are copying existing figure hair and charging a ton of money. I know some people are into these, so just be wary, yeah. This is not cool. Like, there are some resin statues that I really like There's some resin statue companies that I really like. Figure-Rise has always been my favorite resin figure statue company. Without a shadow of a doubt, I just think they make the best stuff. But this is just blatant stealing. They literally scan this digitally and then put it on their figure. It's a real shame to see, if I do say so myself. As you can see as well, this was the original Broly movie Kuji, and they just nabbed the hair from the Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Funny enough, I like the color scheme on the resin one, but yeah, I would, as cool as this figure is, because I would honestly love to own this, I don't think that I could justify, this is the blue one by the way, I don't think I could justify buying it knowing they literally are just like stealing it. Like if you're sculpting it yourself and doing a good job, because I know there are plenty of resin companies that do that, then by all means, right, I would love to buy it. But if you're going to be stealing like this, bro, none of that. Shame on you. Big shame on you. Alright, all June matchmaker angles. So yes, this was very exciting to see because we didn't have this angle in particular Trunks before. And look at how good he looks from that angle. Funny enough, something I talked about in my Super Saiyan GT Goku review is that the figure doesn't look good from every angle. But I feel like this guy is going to be one of those figures that looks solid from literally every single angle. So that's very good to see because I know this is one of the most anticipated figures in a long time. Look at those angles, bro. Oh my gosh. They look so good. By the way, what I was talking about earlier with the whole thing of coloring on a figure, these two pictures should kind of give you a perfect idea as to what I'm talking about when it comes to lighting, right? You can see the little bit more muted colors on this and the like almost orange hair as a comparison, and the colors pop a lot more on here. Again, keep in mind, this is all from the lighting that they take the picture in, or if any color correction is done to the picture, as well as the camera that they're using, right? So colors, always take them with a grain of salt. They'll always be along the same lines. But again, nonetheless though, Trunks looks fantastic. I'm so excited for him. All the 18 angles. She also looks really, really good. We also have the Gotenks too. He also looks really good. I'm glad because I was not a big fan of the Grandista Gotenks, so this guy will probably be my staple Super Saiyan Gotenks in my collection. And Clear Eyes Goku also doesn't look bad. Again, wow. See, here's another example of this, what I was talking about the color scheme. Look how muted and like dark this looks, and then look how bright this looks. If the figure was that bright, I think I would be more inclined to buy it if it actually looks like that, because that bright orange is pretty cool. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Happy and Cheery. Ah, yes. And then, of course, our Lord and Savior Varroque tells us that he was a contributor to this figure, scheduled to appear on June 15th. I was in charge of prototype production, reproducing that scene with 18. Hope you can feel the determination of Trunks carrying the future. I also reproduced some parts that you notice when you look closely at the original. I will describe it when the product appears. I believe he means like from the original piece of art here, which would be based off of this panel. Of course, this is like when Trunks is knocking away the Ki Blast, right, is what this pose is supposed to be. Very cool. Gotta love the homie Varroque. Always love his work. Literally every single figure that I've ever seen him make, at least if they don't butcher it in the final product, has always been amazing. And he's made some of my favorite figures of all time. So definitely love my man. And he's also kind of been known for Trunks. He put himself on the map, I believe it was the 2017 Ben Presto World Figure Coliseum when he did his winning Trunks, the one that took out King Cold. He also did the 18, which is cool to see. Scheduled to appear on the 24th. 18 is me. I co-wrote it with the flow of Mr. Fujiki. Synchronous prototype master. That's funny. Like a modeling relay race. That's a really funny way to describe it. Since I have almost no experience in making female characters, I learned a lot with Mr. Fujiki. Oh, nice. That's cool. It's always awesome to see somebody putting actual work into this, right? Interesting that they made her look a little bit angry when I guess it's technically supposed to be when she's surprised that she's about to get blasted. But I guess on the shelf, that expression would look a little bit weird, especially if the figure is just by itself. But this is the type of thing you love to see, right? Like, people like Varroque are reasons why I love collecting figures like this, because clearly they put a lot of time, effort, and care into their craft, right? They actually care about what they're making, and they care about making a good product, right? The man literally said, I asked for help. So, that's awesome. That is so cool. I love my man. Thank you so much. And he did not have to follow me back on Twitter because I know he did that a long time ago. But my boy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, June Sega numbers. Matchmakers 162. 18. 164. Trunks 2. What? Okay, hold on. 91 Gotenks, 43 Goku, 24 item collection. The lack of interest in the stupid GT Trunks ape will probably cause this. No words, really. Yeah, I guess they assume because it's Trunks? Huh. So 164 stones with stock 18, but only 2 of Trunks makes no sense at all. Sega store numbers are usually indicative of how other game stations will order 2. Wow, only 2 for Trunks, and this guy's going to be amazing. This guy, unfortunately, I couldn't snag on a pre-order when he was originally up, so I'm going to have to see if I can't, have to find him, because I need him for sure. He's one figure in recent time that I haven't been able to snag that I was like, uh-oh. With giant success of 18 prize figures recently, both in Japan and overseas. Hopefully that means we can get a Tournament of Power Outfit 18 next year. Yeah, that would be cool in the tracksuit. I would definitely be down for that for sure. Alright, official website. Further mentions that Solid Edgeworks will focus on Z. Let's hope the line can recover from the disastrous start. Yeah. Because look at these original images, bro. Look at how good this looks. And then we get to this. Yeah. They should have just kept with... I don't know, man. They should have just kept with this theming instead of trying to do something like this. Because this just looks awful. Unfortunate. Alright, related to the Super Master Source Piece 2D Vegeta, it's not confirmed yet. We haven't even gotten October information yet. The rumor started over someone claiming to know someone at Bandai who told them it would be going up for pre-order soon. An older production image, gotcha. Alrighty, we keep on keeping on. Since I had someone ask about this, figures in India, interesting. The Maximanic Super Saiyan God Goku on India. There's a bunch of other recent prize figures for decent prices. Cool, I didn't even know there was an Amazon India, that's awesome. Alright, now that Matchmaker's Trunks is confirmed to be Varroque, undoubtedly he is the master of Trunks with 2 winning Bam Press World figure Coliseums. Yes, I forgot he did this one too, and I love this figure. This is also kind of a grail figure for me. I would love to get this guy at some point. I do like this color scheme, but there is an alternate color scheme of this guy that is the one that I would like to get. It's a little bit more rare, but I think it looks really cool. But regardless, the sculpting is fantastic, of course. And this is the figure that I was talking about and the one that he won. I believe this is 2017 or 2018, but I have this figure. This is one of my first figure reviews, and I absolutely love this figure. It's so good. This is a testament to how great Dragon Ball figures can be. It's such a fantastic figure. Moving on up. Oh, my man's main parcel from Japan has arrived. That's cool. Nice. And he managed to get a good deal on all these. Cool. Yes. And this is a figure we have also been waiting for a while. We'll see some in-person pictures from the boy Baggy literally right here. Casual Day Goku surprisingly got hit with little QC issues other than a minor nick on the sleeve. In terms of scale, he is slightly bigger than the Yardrat Goku and no shading in the hair either, as bright yellow as can be. Thankfully, the foot base is clear too. Looks great, if I do say so myself. I am so glad. Ooh, that's a nice size comparison. I am so glad that this guy turned out well. Obviously, y'all know that I have been looking forward to a figure in this outfit for a long time, because obviously this is my favorite outfit for Goku ever. I love it so much. So I'm so glad that this figure ended up looking really good at the end of the day. This was one figure, like, sometimes, bro, there's figures that I'm like, you know, if it turns out kind of stinky, it's whatever. But, like, once in a while, there's some figures that I'm like, listen, bro, I need it to turn out well. Otherwise, I would be crying. So I'm so glad that it ended up looking really good. Funny that he's looking up a little bit. I never really noticed that in the original one, but he looks great. I'm very excited. Legends collab Gotenks managed to beat the Legends Vegeta. Hey, that's cool. Goku and his own Fusion sales are really dwindling. Also, the Clear Rise Goku now makes it 5 months in a row. Goku figure hasn't come out on top. Goku's no longer a safe option for prize figures. Wow, yeah, that is pretty cool. That is pretty crazy. Oh, here's another in-person image of this guy. Yikes. The paint on the eyes looks so odd. Really weird looking. Alright. September, no DB Gashapon. What? Which means it'll be exactly 2 years since the last UG release, which makes the fact it had UI even more frustrating. Yeah, because it could have been something else. Also, what's incredible about this is when the DBSB release, we had 4 Gashapons released that month. Now, in 2021, 3 months so far have had none. The months that we do have a Gashapon release, we've only had 1. That is pretty crazy. That is actually insane. Also, why did they do I'm Super Vegeta as Super Saiyan Blue? I guess it was just easy to put the arm down. It's weird. Huh. Alright. Yeah, so here, this is kind of what I was talking about. Look at this, bro. So this is in the actual arcade machine is what we're looking at here. They had to lean it against the box. Packaging is very bland too. A 5-year-old could have come up with better packaging design. So your effort was putting into making this release good, despite the original modding being pretty good. A shame, yeah. Feels shame for game stations going to be left with so much dead stock, and bland packaging isn't exactly going to attract people, yeah. Because that's his thing, right? When it comes to us in the West with these figures, the packaging doesn't really matter, like, in certain ways. If you're buying it online, then it doesn't really matter, because you're buying it for the figure, and then you get it in the mail, and then it's kind of a surprise what the packaging looks like, right? If they are putting it on store shelves, like they do in the West a little bit, then of course the packaging is important for that. But in Japan, it's even more important, because obviously they're putting it in these arcade machines, like the claw machines, and then you end up with situations like this, where this is like, who would buy this, bro? Like, I could have made this in Photoshop, and that's not even like cap. Like, I'm being serious. Like, my Photoshop skills aren't necessarily the best. I can make some pretty good looking stuff if I tried, but I could do this in my sleep. Very unfortunate. Whole disaster with that figure. Alright, this was something else that I wanted to highlight. So we talked about this guy a really long time ago. This is the Gigantic series, Gohan and Goku. This is, of course, the figure based off of the scene where Goku arrives at Kame House in the Saiyan Saga carrying Gohan. This is what he looks like out of the box in the little plastic. And then we have him actually out of the box. So very interesting how this figure turned out. Here's the thing that I feel about this figure. So, I know when we were originally talking about this guy way back in the day, I think this was like maybe a video from either earlier this year or last year, I don't remember. I talked about how, like, I thought that the face maybe looked a little bit goofy, but the modeling overall looks pretty good. It looks more like a resin statue, which these days is like sort of the vibe that this line is kind of going for. Not like in the way that they're trying to base it off of resin statues, but it's just a similar type of feel. But I think that this, like, look for the characters is more stylized, if I would have to say, right? Because I think that there's a difference on figures between the face just looking bad and the face looking stylized, right? Like, I think a good example of that is, well, I guess it's not really fair to compare Ritsuda and Bardock to this, but that is a bad-looking figure face, right? But I think a good example of a stylized figure is the Ichiban Kuji, oh, what is that line technically called? The one with the golden great ape in it that has Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4, and then it has Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. That Vegeta, right, I feel like is more stylized than anything, and it's like not, even though the face, like, I wouldn't say it looks off, I would say it looks stylized. The point I'm trying to get at is I feel like that's the case here. The rest of the figure, though, I think Gohan looks perfect, especially for the scene. Little chubby cheeks they did on him are perfect. This figure, unfortunately, is really expensive because the Gigantic series has always been really expensive. And especially for this particular figure, because I know this is a figure that fans are going to be really interested in, it's probably going to be really expensive, and these figures never get released over here. You always have to get them from Japan, so this will definitely be a grail figure for me, but I would love to pick this up. Let's see what some Japanese fans are saying. Next month, looking forward to it. Next month will come soon. Okay, so it's releasing next month. That's cool. What does this guy say? Looks awesome. A start from work, opened the box and looked at it for a while. Couldn't stand up from the chair. That's funny. Yeah, so it looks great. I like the little base as well. That's pretty cool. Very basic. I don't know why they went with red necessarily, but I do like that Gohan and Goku's names are on there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely turned out pretty good, I think. I really like this a lot, considering sometimes the Gigantic series faces I do think look a little bit off. If I do say so myself, I think this is a case of more stylization than anything. So, yeah, looks really good. Very happy to see that it did too, because I know that that was a figure that a ton of people are looking to. Alrighty, the box uses... Oh, that's cool. The box uses a better look at the full art. Reason 1000 why promo art book is so needed. Yeah, because if you guys remember, this was way back when we got it revealed that Gogeta Blue was going to be in the movie. And we have the little fusion tease here with the gum. That's pretty cool. I like that full piece of art. Yeah, I would definitely love a full book of promo art. It happens once every single video, huh? Anyway, moving on. Flip Me the Gigantic series really is gigantic. Alright, so let's take a look. We have some more figure pictures of this guy. Why did I say figure pictures? More pictures. Oh my gosh, that is huge. Holy cow. It was hard to get an idea of the scale from the last figure picture. Why do I keep saying figure picture now? Yeah, I really like this, actually. I feel like it's got some charm to it. I feel like it's got a lot of charm to it. I like this a lot. I really like this a lot. That is a crazy huge figure. So keep in mind, we just saw that guy next to the Yardrat Goku, which I think is a pretty good size comparison. But keep in mind as well with the figures in the background, right? These are no small figures. This is the Purunga, which is around the same size as King Cluster Broly, and this is the Z Broly King Cluster Broly figure in the background there. And this guy absolutely towers over these. How would you even display this feasibly? This would be... Yeah, I honestly, if I, like, really wanted to get this, I think I would have to, like, go to Japan to buy it. Because I think that it's just way too big to ship. Like, I would think the shipping would be disgusting on this. That is insane how big this thing is. The Gigantic series lives up to its name. And the nice thing about the Gigantic series too is it allows for a lot more, like, you know, painting detail and stuff like that. Because I think this particular figure is a great testament to also how great Dragon Ball figures can be. I mean, look at the paint detailing in the light shading in the cracks and stuff like that. It looks really, really good, if I do say so myself. Like the light shading on the legs here. Looks really cool. What does our man have to say? Son Goku and Son Gohan 15th Gigantic series, gathered by Oita. I'm barely independent, but it's a little unstable, so I decorated with a pedestal. Oh, okay. Oh, so does it... Oh, no, does it not come with that base, then? I think it should. I think he was just saying that it's hard to stand up on its own. The size compared to the latest Ichiban Kuji. Gigantic figures, and I'm not ashamed of the Gigantic series name at all. After all, the big figures are the best. My man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad that it turned out looking really good. Yeah, it really is gigantic. That is awesome. Alright, so from SD Toys, releasing end of the year Cell Arc Light Up Notebook, heavily featuring Gohan. Light Up Notebook. Oh, I like that they actually use base form Goku there. That's cool. Huh, okay, so this lights up? Press here and the Kamehameha lights up? That's pretty cool. And I guess we have the Namek Goku one where I assume the aura lights up? Interesting. Spine. Battery operated will cost Ooh. Ooh. Yikes. Yeah, that is kind of a lot. It's cool, though. It's definitely an interesting concept. Alright, DXF Vegeta was one reason I decided to dedicate myself to follow merch, remembering being frustrated at the lack of info for all that, and other figures. Wait, let me reread this, because I'm goofing myself right here. DXF Vegeta was one of the reasons I decided to dedicate myself to follow merch. Remember being frustrated at the lack of info for that and other figures, as all you saw on the web was the prize fair prototype. Like I didn't even know about the prize fair back then. How little I knew. And this is a classic figure right here. That's cool. Incidentally, I no longer have the figure given my disdain for fusions. Yeah, this is a classic figure though. I would also love to get this guy someday because he is he's just, well, an OG, bro. So it looks like these premium acrylic stand logos will cost 1.3k, are flimsy, and many fans have reported broken bases. Why am I not surprised? That is unfortunate. Yeah, and apparently this is from Premium Bandai too. I assume that it's probably, what do you call it, like a Japanese Premium Bandai exclusive. Sounds like a scam. I'm getting one from Prime 1 instead. Oh, that's cool. This is cool, at least, I guess. I hope this one isn't expensive. This is obviously meant to go with the big statue Goku, the Prime Studio plus the Mega House one that we saw a while ago. Alright, it's been like 5 weeks since the September price stuff dropped, still in the sound of October stuff dropping. Under the old information rollout of October stuff dropped early June, so maybe they're reverting it back to how it was before. I guess we'll have to see. Didn't realize Super Solid Edgeworks. Solid Edgeworks Goku is made in Vietnam, but not China. This could explain it. Vietnam has only handled BSS releases thus far, I think. Oh, interesting. Okay. The Kid Goku release was made in Vietnam, and that turned out fine. Granted, it wouldn't have been produced in that much quality compared to solid artworks. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That is something interesting to note, though. Alright. Dokkan 6th Anniversary Vegeta and the Grandista 2D Vegeta, both imminent for release in Europe. Some bad news, however, for FES 12 will not ship with the March block. The same happened in Australia. I assume the same will happen to US. I also assume that means FES 12 and 13 will release together for the West then, yeah. Probably makes sense. March, BSS Final Flash Vegeta isn't on the list, so looks like that is delayed then. Unfortunate. This is a great figure, by the way. I've also reviewed this guy. I reviewed this guy a fat minute ago. This was another one of like the first figures in my collection. This is a fantastic figure too. Highly underrated. I like never see anybody talk about this guy, so I'm glad that he is actually getting released because it's a good figure. Oh, that's cool. Super Saiyan Videl. Alright, a bunch of ZTs from Toei. Western release, but of course Japanese writing. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they're not that bad, to be honest. I like the overall style of them. They're pretty cool. For anyone wondering, the last Goku release to get significant orders in Japan was the Maximadic Super Saiyan Goku, which released in October. We're now in June. Holy cow, in October? Safe to say Goku not doing well. It is not an anomaly. There we go. That's been 8 months he hasn't done well. That's crazy. Oh, hey, here's a tweet from me. Yay! This tweet popped off, which was crazy. Alrighty. Universe 7, 11, and 6 DBS CG art and a clear look at the Transcendence UI Goku art. Oh, right, okay. So this figure, right? Fantastic figure. A lot of people really like it. This is what it was based on in terms of the art. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot. These are some really cool pieces of art. I've actually never seen this before. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely some cool stuff. I recognize some of these poses, but some of them I don't. Huh, that's cool. Alright. Ooh, these are really cool. Love the subtlety between the arts here. Back when Super Saiyan God had that bang. That's cool. I like this a lot. This is for first place and second place for the card game. That's awesome. Yeah, so this was a really unfortunate thing. So obviously this is the Legends Kefla, like a lot of you have seen. But this year we got no Legends Anniversary collabs, and they dropped Kefla. So, again, if you guys have been following this series for a while, you would know that this is really unfortunate because we haven't gotten a proper Kefla prize figure or Kuji figure literally ever. And it has been like something like 4 years since her debut in the anime. We've only gotten like 3 or 4 minifigures of her. Very unfortunate to see, and it is crazy actually that they're like not doing any Legends collab figures because, I mean, well, I don't think they're gonna do super. Oops, I just punched my keyboard. Sorry about that. I don't think they were gonna do any Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta because, funny enough, that Kuji set that I was just talking about before, with that set, we got basically the same pose for Gogeta in his art. Unless they decided to do like some legend shading on the figure, there wouldn't really be a good way to make it unique. But Vegito, Merge Zamasu, Kefla, even Ice and Nova Shinron would be good options to make for these. It's just so weird to me that every time with Legends, they don't seem to take advantage of when characters come out in the game rather than like when Dokkan does, right? They obviously always do anniversary collab figures for Dokkan. So it's just like kind of crazy to me that they don't do the same thing for Legends when Legends is really popular, right? And an Ichiban Kuji set honestly would have been perfect for this anniversary and just made a bunch of figures based on that. I don't know, kind of insane if I do say so myself, because there could have been some really good stuff here, and especially in Kefla's case, it would have been great. Yeah, I don't know, man. Alright, so, as you can see here, here are the finals for the Legends Gotenks. Now, I saw this figure, and I actually had to take a look at it for a minute. Because this guy is based off of Red Gotenks, by the way, the untransformed one, if you're curious. I kind of was like a little bit off-put by the face at first. Because it almost feels like they took the face in Photoshop and then made it a little bit crooked. But the more I look at it, the more I feel like it's another case of stylization. I feel like it looks good, though. I am going to save my final judgment for when I have the figure in person. But I feel like this is definitely... That Goku is a way, like, better example of stylization on a figure. But I do feel like that this kind of has the same effect for me to a lesser extent. But I do still think that it looks good. I believe we have some more images coming up here. If we don't, we'll go back down to it in a second, but I think we do. This is the next gummy candy product for Super Dragon Ball Heroes. August DBH gummy candy will literally release early August. That is technically will start releasing in July. Oh, that's cool. Versus 17 unboxing. Unfortunately, the price increase doesn't justify the quality as it's terrible from before. Unfortunate. Yeah, so as you can see, these guys did not fare too well. These were the figures that were that big Broly set of the family Kamehameha, right, from the Versus series. Very unfortunate to see the quality. Look at that paint chipping on Goku there. Look at the paint mess on that's Gohan's leg there. That's what that is. And then Goten's face just looks very ugly, as well as his hands look so weird. It looks like you just stick them in mud. Very unfortunate how that turned out for sure. Yeah, very sad to see. Grandisa 2D Vegeta re-release finals next week. Next to Super Master Stars Piece Goku. Some logic needed to be applied. The recent Super Master Stars Piece 2D false rumor. If they're going to re-release it, they would have done it with Grandista, yeah. This is a pretty cool look, although, like, these figures don't kind of, like, I don't know, really pair together, I guess. Because obviously it's like a different scene for Vegeta. We don't actually have, interestingly enough, a Grandista Vegeta from Z. We only have one from the Buu Saga with the Super Saiyan 1 and the Majin Vegeta head, and then the base form one. So that'd be cool to get that someday. But obviously this is the re-release of the Super Master Stars Piece Goku. I actually just got this guy recently too, so a review rather of him will be coming up on the channel eventually. I do agree that they do look like this guy doesn't look as oily. Goku maybe a little bit. But I will say, in terms of these guys, right, the 2D figures always tend to look a little bit oily as far as I've seen. So, definitely not like a surprising thing. I think it's just the kind of paint that they use. Alright, we keep on keeping on here we go. This is what I was looking for. More Legends collab at Gotenks final pictures. I am glad that this guy turned out as good as he did, because he could definitely look worse, that's for sure. But yeah, I think he's good. I like him a lot. Here's the Red Gotenks art, by the way, that he's based off of. Looking at that as well, I honestly think that the figure looks better, funny enough, because I didn't even realize it, but his face looks so big in this art. They did a good job as well keeping the arm slanted. It looks a little bit more slanted in the actual figure than it does in the art. But I honestly kind of like the face a little bit smaller as it is here. I feel like it fits the character a little bit better than like the wide eyes. Yeah, no, and I think it looks good from like other angles too. I don't know. I kind of like the scrunched nose look a little bit. It's cool. I feel like this is definitely a very stylized figure. That is a nice angle, if I do say so myself. Like father, like son. This guy is going to look great next to the Legends Gogeta, I will say, the red one. Because they are both in like a similar-ish type of pose. Kind of not really, but they both have an arm up. That angle looks striking. That is really cool. That is a nice angle right there. Holy cow. I like that angle a lot for this guy. Okay, alright. This is warming me up a little bit more to it. The first time I saw it, I was like, look at Goku trying to photobomb. That's funny. This one's also hilarious. I saw this one. This is so funny to me, bro. I'm actually going to post it on Twitter after I finish this video. Look at him peeking in the shot. That's really funny. Yeah, I think it looks good overall. I am definitely excited to get this guy in person. This is another figure that I was really hoping would be good, because I feel like we don't get Gotenks figures super often. So this guy is honestly a pretty good choice if you're looking for a Gotenks figure for your collection. I still want to get the Ritsuda and Super Saiyan 3 one, because I think that that guy definitely doesn't look too bad. But this is a pretty cool figure, so I'm glad that it turned out as well as it did. Very happy with that. Alright. The only time I remember, so this is pretty crazy. Sega have reopened this, this is Demon Slayer, by the way, set for the 8th to 189 stores, released in April. The only time I remember seeing Game Station 0 DB was this BOS Goku. Interesting. Yeah, that figure is very popular. Alright. Whoo! That is, very unfortunate. Look at those hands. My gosh. That is like, that might be one of the worst errors I've ever seen on a figure. That might be the thumbnail right there. Holy cow. That is really bad. Here is the full look at the figure. What did they do to my mans? Oh my gosh. Holy cow. I don't even have anything to say. I genuinely have no words. That is absolute insanity. That looks awful. That is such a shame. Prior to the information change back in December, October stuff dropped early June, so we'll probably be getting October 2021 stuff earlier, either late this week or early next. Maybe they decided to revert back, who knows, but it's been 5 weeks since September 2021 stuff dropped. And this is just in reference to what was going on back then in terms of releases. Good times, good times. I remember all this. Okay, and I believe we are getting close to the end here. Yeah, we are actually at the end of today's video. So, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it is always a pleasure to do these videos because it's always great to go through and see all of the various different Dragon Ball figures that are coming up to us. We had the good, we had the bad this week. Nothing too crazy in terms of brand new releases, but we did get to see a lot of figures finalized. Again, to reiterate, the good and the bad. Let me know out of everything, though, what you're the most excited for. I definitely think that for me, Gotenks is pretty high up on the top of the list. I will catch you guys in the next figure news video, though. Glad to be kind of back on schedule with these. Happy Memorial Day, by the way, if you are here in the States and you are planning on grilling out and participating in some of the festivities. Regardless, though, have a great weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.